So training it is nothing but judicious removal of any plant part to give proper shape to this grapevine. Okay, so that is initially for giving the proper frame structure to the grapevine. Okay, so grapes training means the orientation of above ground wine parts. So different whatever parts are there, like arms are there, canes are there, shoots, fruiting shoots, or fruiting spurs or vegetative spurs. So how we will orientate, give orientation. So for that training is very important. It will help to maintain the form as well as spread of wine. Then facilities to carry operation like pruning, interculture operation, harvesting. So all this we can carry out easily by giving proper training methods. So depends on two factors like growth characters of cultivars, then influence of local climate on cultivars. So growth characters. So how it is, which determinate, indeterminate growth habit, um, or spreading nature, or more branching type. So as well as local climate. So a particular season, the growth will be very fast. In dormant seasons, the growth will be very slow. So in that way, we will decide which type of training method we want to give. Okay. So to give objective of training are to give the desired shape so that it will facilitate the different cultural operations, what you said earlier. All like giving different hormonal. So hormones, use of hormone is very significant. Perhaps use of different hormones, then the lateral pruning operations, okay, and pest disease control, harvesting. So all these operations will be intercultural manuring. Okay, so all these operations will be it should be taken out very easily. So like that training method we need to follow. Okay, so there should not be disturbance for doing this intercultural operation. So to produce the fruits of desired yield as well as quality. So it's also very important objective. We want produce of desired yield as well as good quality. Then economics maintenance of wine yard. So economical maintenance means so it should come, wine should come so long term. Okay. So how many years? So each and every year we are doing regularly this training pruning operation. Then it can be for long term. Otherwise, there will be problem of always pest and diseases. So it will. So economic life of wine, it will get disturbed if we are not properly doing this training and pruning operations. Okay. So facilitates the different horticulture operation. It should facilitate the different horticulture operation very easily. It should provide the good leaf exposure. Leaf exposure. Okay, like proper sunlight to all the leaves. Okay, light sunlight penetration should be there. Proper air circulation. It should not be dense or like branching. Okay, so avoid bigger cuts to the permanent wood of the vine. Okay, bigger cut we need to avoid. Otherwise, it will be the source of any fungal infection, and there is in severe cases it may damage your entire vine also. So this thing we need to take care. So wherever we have done pruning, immediately after that we need to use some fungicide mixture like Bordeaux mixture or carbendazim. This type of mixtures we need to. So there will not be any infection of any pest and diseases. So fungal diseases are more there after any, and some borers or something they might attack open portion, cut open portion. So we need to take care each and every time. Maintain the vitality of wine over a long period. Okay, so that should maintain your vitality vigor in the sense giving proper flowering as well as fruiting. So coming to different systems of training. So new planted cuttings start growing when dormant season is over. So there is a dormant or dormancy period or resting period for each and every fruit crop. So here for grape wine also there is dormancy period when the growth will be very slow. So after that dormancy period, so there will be proper vegetative growth. Okay, and when favorable situation comes, okay, it will go with correct season, favorable situations like CN ratio, hormonal regulations. So it will go for flowering. So 2 to 3 shoots are allowed to grow on the cuttings. So once you planted the cuttings of any 20-25 centimeter length, so it will start giving some new number of so many number of shoots. So in that 2 or 3 shoots you can try to maintain. Okay, so after development of good root system in cutting, once you are confident that your cuttings has developed a good number of roots, so one healthy straight growing shoot it can retain. So only so many shoots will produce in that one only healthy growing straight growing shoot you can select, and that you can trail somewhere, or if you have further structure you try to take up to that structure. So only one shoot. Okay, so allowed to grow as a single stem, so that is single stem up to certain height. So up to certain height you need to take, instead of so many shoots, single stem you need to grow very well up to that height. Then depend on your system of training, it will be adopted. Then what you need to, up to a certain level you need to cut back. Okay, at a particular level. Then after cutting weight, again it will start producing so many number of shoots that you can, depending on your system, depending upon your system, you can trail this side, that side. Okay, or how many number of shoots you want to maintain. Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary. So in that way you can decide your length or canopy of your grape wine, so that after the maintaining vegetative spurs, then fruiting spurs, all these things you can do well. Okay, so once your canes are developed, that is 1 year old mature shoots. So coming to choice of training system. Choice of training system, it will depend on so many factors. So one major factor is apical dominance. So apical dominance, it is tendency nothing but most of the fruit crops have a tendency of apical dominance. That is tendency of growing erect, nothing but tendency of growing erect. Okay. So how this tendency is? Okay, some very rare cases they are. So when we are breaking this tendency of apical dominance, okay, by mechanical or any hormonal way, so that it will give you many number of shoots or branches. So that you have seen in many, in flower crops, also in mango, citrus, other fruit crops. So this is tendency in most of the fruit crops. That is erect growing habit. So it is there for all the fruit crops, all flower crops, each and every species it is there. So that you need to break, so you can get more number of branches. Wine vigor. So vigor, how is the vigor of wine? Okay, it will produce more number of branches, more leaves or foliage. How it is? Then cultivar, type of variety or cultivar. So how is the cultivar? Okay, how it spread. So all these things depends. Cultivar. Some cultivars will have a particular canopy or dwarfing nature also, or limited canopy. So all these factors are depend on this thing. Okay, bearing habit. So bearing habit, um, that is especially we are telling bearing habit, that is season. Okay, so that is one way it is crop duration, another way it is on which type of. So in grapes also especially you need it is on shoots also, and you need somewhat old season growth for bearing flowers or berries. Okay, so bearing habit also depends. Then climate, how is the climate? It depends on climatic factors. Which climate it is having fast growth, slow growth. Then land use, depending upon land, how much irrigation, nutrients you are providing, then how growth of, so that will also decide growth of your wine and how fast it will grow. Then easiness in cultural operation. Okay. Then capacity of grower to invest. Capacity of grower to invest. So some methods are very costly. That sometimes iron poles, cement poles. So sometimes wooden structure, some bamboo poles are there also. So that depends on grower how much he want to invest in that. Otherwise, sometimes iron poles, then iron wires. Okay, sometimes stands for structure, bundles, pergolas. So that will cost more. So in that way, we can decide how much we can invest. Farmer can invest, that grower can invest. So coming to one first system, that is head system. So best suited to the cultivar producing the fruitful shoots from basal bud. So especially जो dwarf nature, dwarfing type of nature, some varieties like at less height they will produce the fruitful shoots. Okay, which can give the fruits. So such type of shoots they can from basal bud only. So like beauty seedless, perlite, the delight gold. Okay, so it is very cheapest as well as easiest method of training vines like dwarf bush. So you can make your plants like dwarf bushes. So in this there is a particular concept is there like so here vine allowed to grow up to 1.2 meter. So once your vine grows up to 1.2 meter height, it will be so till the time we will support by some stakes or any iron poles or cement poles. So after 1.2 meter height, we will cut back to produce so many number of side shoots. So in that 4 lateral side shoots will be allowed. Okay, above 75 centimeter from the ground level. Okay, so 1.2 meter your vine first it is growing. After that, you will cut back. So cut back up to suppose 1 meter height you are cutting back. So after that, so many side shoots. Once you are apical dominance you are breaking, it will start producing side shoots, lateral branch, side branches. So 4 lateral branches you are trying to maintain above 75 centimeter from the ground level. So this will make your primary canes. So laterals, after that laterals will be, so whatever your 4 laterals are there, that will be cut at 45 centimeter length. Okay, all laterals, only 4 laterals you are maintaining, and all these 4 lateral you are cutting at 45 centimeter height. Okay, so in order to produce the secondary arms or secondary branches. So after that, for each this secondary two branches on each this secondary arm, each of 20 to 30 centimeter length will be retained at each lateral. Okay, so whatever these 4 primaries are there, on that you are trying to maintain 2. Okay, two on each 4 means for single two branches. In that way, that will act as a secondary arm or secondary branches with length of 20 to 30 centimeter. Okay, 20 to 30 centimeter on each these 4 laterals. Okay, so this will act your secondary structure, secondary branches. So secondary arms are allowed to produce 2 tertiary arm for each these 2 what is that, on each your primary means for each 4 laterals you are, for each 2, again for each that 2, on each single 2. In that way tertiary you are maintaining. Okay, in that way primary, secondary and tertiary structure you are making. So that will act your tertiary branches or tertiary structure. So these tertiary arms, after 1 year growth, it is known as skeins, which will produce the fruiting spurs. So in that way, you can expect this fruiting spurs. Okay, in that way, it is just like some. Okay, so this is somewhat a cheaper method, or only one cement pole or iron pole it is involving in this. So in this way, this method is there. Okay, is this hello? You are understanding? Hello? 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 Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
हाँ ओके समझ में आ रहा है आपको
Yes, sir.
okay, so it is very easy. Primary, secondary, tertiary structure. So this is one head type of system. Okay, so simplicity is what is simplicity in shape. So yeah, it is very simple. One pole is there, one cement pole will be there involving in this. Easy in training. Then you can use closer spacing. Since your wine is very dark in nature, 1.8 into 2.4, somewhat rectangular shape you can meter square. 2,315 wines per hectare. It is less expensive. That is, but also be CB ratio, cost benefit ratio, 1:0.96. But here also some disadvantages are involved, like shedding of lateral, sometimes shedding of laterals, poor color development, as well as low yield. Then increased possibility of bunch rot. Bunch rot, that is one disease. Because of low height, there is sometimes problem of some soil borne some pest, or sometimes fungus, or some problem of excess humidity, so that will damage your bunch sometime. Then wine slow to come into full production. Okay, so full production, it will take more time. Okay, so those are some drawbacks. Next method is there. This is Bauer method. So Bauer method, it is also known as arbor or pergola or pendle structure. So this is just like how we are making some pendle or some stand type of structure for especially cucurbitaceous wine. So in that, in vegetable crops like this, okay, cucumber, okay, cucumber, bitter gourd, rich gourd. So in that way, here also this is wines, but this structure will be permanent with cement poles or iron poles. Okay, so this is arbor, pendle or pergola structure. Okay, so it is best suited for vigorous cultivars which do not perform well on other systems. So vigorous cultivars which will have very vigorous growth, okay, fast growth, as well as very fast developing canopy. Okay, so most popular in North as well as in South India, as well as it is giving good this ratio as compared to other methods. So it is very popular method actually. So vines are spread over the crisscross network of wires, usually 2.1 to 2.4 meter above the ground level. Okay, so that bundle will be 2.1 to 2.4 meter above the ground level. It is supported by pillars of concrete or irons or stone. Okay, so vines are allowed to grow as a single stem up to the bundle. Okay, once it is reaching up to bundle, vines will be pinched off when it reaches the vine produce so many number of side shoots. Okay, so in that two vigorous shoots will be written as primary branches or primary arms. From these primary arms, for each you want to maintain 3 laterals, each at 60 centimeter apart as secondary branch. Okay. So distance, internodal length between these two laterals will be 60. So like that, for each primary, you will maintain 3 branches. Okay, as a secondary arms or secondary branches. Okay. So after that, for each secondary, 8 to 10 tertiary, 8 to 10 branches or laterals will be maintained at tertiary branches on these each secondary arms. So that will be acting as a fruiting spur. Okay, is it clear? Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ओके, तो आपको इंटरेक्शन करना चाहिए। अगर ऐसा मुझे लगना नहीं चाहिए कि आप मेरी आवाज आप तक नहीं पहुंच रही है। ठीक है।
Yes, sir. आ रही है आवाज।
हाँ, ठीक है। तो क्या इस मेथड के एडवांटेजेस क्या है? इट इज सुटेबल फॉर विगरस वैरायटीज लाइक अनाबे शाही, then vigorous variety, okay, which is having very fast growth, as well as so many number of leaves will be more on single vine, so that is vigorous growth, fast growth also. Then better exposure to the sunshine, proper color development, it is possible in this as compared to previous method, that is Bauer method. It provides the good protection of crop against hot winds. This is also a very good advantage. Then higher yield, as well as you can expect maximum CP ratio, that is 1:2.09. And disadvantages are high initial cost. So what do you mean by CP ratio 1:2.09? हेलो, इसका मतलब क्या है? CP ratio 1:2.09 का मतलब क्या है? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
हाँ बताइए आप। CP ratio 1:2.09 इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? क्या है? इकोनॉमिक्स का है, मतलब ये सभी चक्कर इसका है। प्रॉफिट, हम कितना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं और कितना प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है, बताइए ना। इसका मतलब क्या है? यही है ना, इनपुट और आउटपुट है ये ना। ये पहला फिगर इनपुट का है, कॉस्ट, और दूसरा बेनिफिट का है। तो यहाँ पे इसका मतलब क्या है? जब हम 1 रुपये इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं तब हमें 2.09 रुपये मिल रहे हैं, मतलब आपका प्रॉफिट कितना हो गया? 1.09। तो इस तरह से ये है। ठीक है, 1 रुपये आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर और इनिशियल इनपुट का कॉस्ट हो गया। ठीक है, इज इट ओके?
Yes, sir.
नेक्स्ट है निपिंग सिस्टम। सो निपिंग सिस्टम इट इज डेवलप्ड बाय, ये साइंटिस्ट का नाम इंपॉर्टेंट है, विलियम निपिंग्स ऑफ न्यूयॉर्क इन 1850। इट इज बेस्ट सुटेबल फॉर moderately vigorous wines, especially variety like Beauty Seedless, then Early Muscat, Perlite, Bangui, Abite, then Bokri and Delight. So somewhat moderately vigorous, not very high, in between. Okay.